Budget transfers to date.
Cash, interfund, and budget.
To date. Yes. And approval to do a budget transfer before the claims are paid, so that no line items will be over budget. I mean, they gave me a blanket approval, but I like to just say it every time to meet the requirements, so that these line items aren't over budget.
Okay with the motion? Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Looks like we have an amendment.
Yeah, okay, I just didn't know where they, okay, budget amendment 2015-03. That is so that we can pay a reimbursement to the rescue squad for some expenditures they had had. They remitted those to us a long time ago, but we just hadn't finalized our budget amendment to go ahead and pay that. It's passed through, isn't it? This is second reading, yeah.
On that, are we doing anything?
Pass through co-severance.
Was that the co-severance monies?
It's a pass-through grant of co-severance grant.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
So
It's going to the rescue squad.
Yeah.
Any idea of any of the other co-severance projects of the fire departments or anything? We still have not heard anything back from Frankfurt.
We've actually not had time to sit down together with them in a conference call. We had to wait till after the meeting was over. There's too much preparation, monthly bills. And
All right. Got a motion on the floor, second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Before we get into new business, do we have anything else, Jody?
No, not under that.
I know I'd like to welcome everyone to the fiscal court meeting. Before we have new business, is there anyone that wants to address the court? That's not on the agenda.
Yeah, we do. Sorry, but we want to know about using the gym to have dances.
Okay, about just using the gym for dances,
Yeah.
for events.
For dances, to have them like on the weekends and stuff, like on Saturday nights and Friday nights. We go for miles and miles to find a place that they're not drinking and stuff to go to dance. And we've got this and it belongs to the people and we should be allowed to use it. We want to know why, that we can't. They said that we have to put a tarp on the floor. Well, nobody can't dance on a tarp. You can't even walk on a tarp on a slid floor. I mean, I'm not the brightest bulb in the bunch, but I can tell you, I know you can't. Jody, you know you can't even.
I feel like you're
I'm already drunk.
Well, when we leave this county, think about it. We're driving at least 100 miles round trip, 120 round trip. We're buying food out of the county. We're buying gas out of the county. That money is leaving our county. We do not have that much going on in this county right now. You know, we got 4 banks and 4 dollar stores, right? What have we got here for the people to use? You know, we've got it down there, you know, or the basement. We need to utilize this. We're taxpayers. We want to see this being used instead of putting it out and worshiping it or lock it up and not use it. You know, that's what we're concerned about.
And there's lots of teenagers that we could get them off the streets and get them in here and get them interested in something besides just roaming around town all night long.
Right, robbing and stealing.
Yes, exactly. And drugging. I mean, let's just tell it like it is. That's how it is. We all know it.
I mean, that gym looks nice down there. I will agree to that. But if you come in here tonight and walk on that floor, I've got rubber sole boots on. What's the difference in tennis shoes if we'll let someone play volleyball? What's the difference? You have to watch where you draw lines with people. You know, what's fair for one should be fair for the other.
I mean, I think, and I think the dancing club would be willing to pay.
Yeah, that's what we want to find out, what's
If we
being
can
charged,
use it and
what's.
what the deal is, how much and everything, so we can pass it around to the public that wants to come.
I
Your dancing lesson.
I don't know if there's
They
any
line
reason why we
dancing.
couldn't, you know, with the concerts, events. I think that's why the stage was created, to have concert events and orchestras or whatever, and bring in plays. Is there, what's,
Sound good to me. Just the price. Couple last month, I think.
Well, who's in charge of that?
Y'all are gonna be.
well, Robin, would you want to touch on this a little bit? You've been handling the gym and everything. Do you want to touch on this a little bit of what's,
What, the charges?
yeah,
Okay, for the gym, we're charging $15 an hour, or if you want it for 8 hours, it's $100, plus a $25 key deposit that will be returned if, you know, if we give you a key. When you bring that key back and I check the gym, make sure there's no damage, you'll get your $25 back.
You said 15 an hour or 100 for 8. Okay,
We don't need it for 8.
but, you know.
Now, you can dance that long, can't you?
Well, let's go stay all night.
have a dance-a-thon.
Yeah, you might have to do it.
That's why if you want to start early in the morning, dance all day.
I'll be fine with that.
I've seen you there go like a walk.
Well, what about the floor covering now?
I don't know about the floor covering.
Well, that's what we need to
I
know,
was
you know.
told that we were going to get one, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I know, that's what we were
We want to know
told.
when it can start being used.
Well, everybody wear a soft, you know, kind of a soft short shoe, I'd say it'd be all right. They look at me like, we could try it and see what happens, you know.
I think one of the concerns that some folks may have with this is that we do have a beautiful floor down there.
I agree.
Scuffs,
But it needs
dents,
to be used.
and the scuffs and the dents, we want to make sure we take care of it and everything. And one of the things that we might want to look at is if there's an extreme big skid mark going all the way down, that whoever's using it at that time would need to take care of that, you know, or rub it up or anything like that. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know exactly what you're saying.
You know, the community center is what it is. It's the community center for everybody. We use it, we got to take care of it.
Frankie, can I say something here?
And I don't care if you play basketball or what, the seal's gonna wear off and we're gonna have to do it over again. It doesn't matter whether you dance, play basketball, volleyball, it'll have to be, I mean, you can't just let it lay out there and be pretty. You gotta use it.
Frankie,
Well,
can I haven't got anything to do with any of this, but Robin, the volleyball, seniors volleyball, they use it every Monday night. And they take a collection and they pay for it each Monday night. And they're responsible for the gym. Well, at 86 years old, I don't play senior volleyball anymore. But anyway, that's the way it worked, and it worked beautifully. Now, these ladies had a dance club, whatever. Could that work the same way? Now, I don't know whether you can, you're talking about line dancing or dancing?
Yeah, we
Can
do
you do
line
it
You
in
have
tennis?
dancing and line
I mean,
dancing.
can you
or
do
what?
it in tennis shoes, or
We
does it have
want
to be
to
leather?
make Lundy Wright and different people that live here in the county and pay taxes.
I know what you're talking
They
about, but
want
can
to
you
come
dance
in
on
and
the
play.
floor, but
These are rubber sole boots. You could dance on
rubber
that
sole?
floor
That's
like
what I'm
anybody
asking,
playing
that's what
basketball.
Denzel was asking.
Yeah.
How can you use, But what if you're gonna just walk in there, I mean, you gotta take your shoes off if you don't know.
That's what we want
That's
to
what
know.
we're trying to find out, what the
I mean,
rules are.
Like
you
it's
know.
open right now, and I went down in there, is there a sign says no boots allowed? Because I've got, you know, Nashville boots on myself. And you get her line dancing, there's too many.
The big problem that we had before, we had a lot of damage done to it. They was holes kicked in the wall, the bathrooms were tore up, they broke the commode, the sink, I mean, they just ransacked.
You had a bunch of heathens in there then.
We don't cure for anyone using it, and we're not saying that you all would do that. But what I'm saying that before, we had a lot of problems, I mean, a lot of damage that, you know, was just vandalism was all you could make of it. You know, I mean, there's no reason, I mean, I understand that things are going to get scuffed and all that, but But I mean, we're talking about just walking up and kicking a big hole that big round in the wall and all that stuff. So that's what we've been, that's the reason we've not went ahead and opened it up. We're trying to figure out some way to have somebody there in control, or somebody in charge whenever people is in there. So just like if you all are in there, that somebody don't just walk in and for me kick a big hole in the wall or whatever. That's our concern, you know. It's not that we don't want anyone to use it, we just want to try to take care of it so people can have it.
I know one thing, we'll have to draw a line somewhere like with clogging shoes, you know, the taps.
No
That
taps.
couldn't be allowed on the floor.
No,
There'd have to be a special floor brought in for
that
that.
would destroy the floor.
But just boots and cowboy
Regular
boots,
shoes.
you know, shoes, country line dance shoes. Don't think it's an issue. I don't see an issue with it as long as, and we got to keep in mind too, that if we had to resurface or finish that floor, what's the cost going to be? And there's a lot at play, and you can't go back in and I don't think you can go back in there and sand that off because of all the lines on the floor. So you just have to, you have to redo everything. So you just have to really be cautious on it. But it is a community center and it needs to be used.
That's right.
Exactly.
But that's why we have to have in place, it is community center, and whoever's in it, it's their community center right then and there. So they kind of take care of it, leave it better than you found it, kind of thing. So that's why I was saying, if there's a big scuff or whatever, somebody kicked real hard and they scuffed it really bad, they need to go in and fix it, okay, and scrape it off before they leave off.
Probably what would work, maybe it might not work for you all, but if you could, like when you want to have your dance, if you could kind of designate someone to just kind of be aware of, you know, kind of watch the doors and that type of thing, and make sure that someone didn't come in and just tear things up, you know. Just somebody kind of,
They can oversee it.
yeah.
Yes, Robin?
I didn't hear what you said about the cowboy boots. What did you say about that?
Oh, I mean, those are just like if we had a community event where someone's come to speak. If we set out tables or something like that, you know, people are going to have street shoes.
There won't be nobody there.
Well, the cowboy boots would be the same almost as your other boots, or any regular leather bottom shoes would be the same thing.
Same thing.
Leather bottom shoes would be the same as a cowboy boot.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
I
it's leather.
Okay, the reason I'm asking that, I've had a couple boys in there playing basketball with cowboy boots on. I've told them that they either had to bring tennis shoes, gym shoes, or take their boots off.
Yeah. A little bit kink in them. It's understandable.
Was I in the wrong
Maybe
doing
y'all
that
have
or
to
not?
start
Because, you know,
ballet
when
and
they're starting to
they'll
jump
rest on their
and
toes
play
and soft
basketball, they're
shoes.
going to scuff.
Very true. Good point.
Well, can't they have at least ballet?
We'll pass on that.
Well, now what about the fees for the downstairs, you know, where they used to have like household showers and that where the kitchen is? What price is that going to be?
$20 an hour, or $125 for all day, plus a $25 fee deposit.
Be 20, 125, and 25. Okay.
Well, that's tile floors on there. Can you
That's
hang
tile.
them?
I don't know, that's what we'd, oh, yeah, you could on tile.
Yeah,
These
regular
are all
tile.
old rates.
We just
That
have
might
to
be
see.
a better option.
Well, the only thing with your band, they have to be like up on a stage.
Well, that would be
or
a
something.
special
Right. If we
special
could get a
event,
band in.
and maybe we can look at it, you know, this might be something we need to develop a community center board that, to oversee this and to work on this possibly with new judges back there. Welcome. It may be something you want to look at to have a board devised up, set up for this reason, because for these reasons, you know. I don't know, I'm not talking about benefits or fundraisers. I'm talking about you wanted to have a square dance, a good old-fashioned square dance, and have paid admission at the door. You might have to have event insurance, I'm sure. That's something that maybe the committee would look at. Is that okay if we, you know, I think we're spending a lot of time on this, and it's not been an issue as far as the court yet. So if you are okay with that?
I guess we have to be, don't we? I mean, seriously, that's the. that
Well, we
was the
just need to
rule.
know when that could become available
We
for
just want-
usage.
We wanted to find out the rules and what we had to do so we could pass it on to the rest of the people, you know.
Well, here's the thing, if you have more than 20 or 30 people, you're gonna outgrow the downstairs in the basement.
Yes.
So you'll probably have to go up in the gym. If you get more than 40 or 50, that means you're drawing a little more money. You might be able to go in afterwards and clean it up afterwards.
Yeah.
Clean
Well,
up.
we would see that it would, all the garbage, everything would be picked up, cleaned up, just like the way we found it. We have never had anything downstairs before, those girls could tell you. We left it better than the way we would have found it.
Well, we gotta do it. Sound good? All right?
So we'll be checking with Robin then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right, moving along, new bit, anybody else? Okay. On new business, environmental educator.
The situation was, I think the contract that Pride had sent and Linda had submitted at the court meeting was an employee contract. And Linda Rose actually, and I think most of you all, I polled you by phone, and you'd rather it be contract labor. So Jolene has submitted a contract labor agreement. I have emailed it to Pride, and their CEO answered me today. I got a message from Tammy Wilton that said that the contract was fine with them. So I've got that message here. I guess we just need to make a motion to say it'll be contract agreement, contract labor.
Well, it's just.
So Jody can handle payroll.
You all already agreed it was contract labor. It just concerned me when I read the contract because it addressed her as an employee. So it kind of contradicted what y'all were saying. So I asked them to have Jolene look at that, see if she could reword that so it's seem more like a contract labor situation. Because I believe that's really what she is. You can't choose to make her that. She either is or she isn't. And she appears to be a contract laborer under the IRS laws and such to me. So it's just that the contract didn't coincide with what you all said you wanted to do. So I hadn't paid her yet. So now that as soon as that contract is signed, we'll pay her.
Do we need to make a motion on this contract?
I mean, I guess you're, I don't know, you might want to approve to rescind the other contract and.
Yeah.
This was just some meeting acknowledgement, right? So we just know what.
No, you probably need to
Rescind
rescind the
the
other one.
Motion
Okay.
to rescind is to,
And
same
to,
motion.
some motion to have this one signed, I guess,
I'll make it.
or approve this one.
Can you just approve this contract later?
No, you don't approve the contract labor to approve the contract itself. We're approving the contract.
Maybe say a replacement contract from the
So
county
rescind.
attorney or.
We're going to rescind the original contract, they refer to her as an employee, and approve the newly written contract, referring to her as a contract laborer.
Yeah.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Next on the list is the resolution for the David Michael Soares Memorial Bridge. Do you have?
I've got a resolution.
Okay. A lot of folks may not know what this is a lot of the bridges in the county over the years. If they did not already have a name, we've looked at trying to name past fallen veterans, and seeing how Veterans Day was just this week, I thought this would be a great idea for David Michael Soares from the Ezell area that passed in Vietnam. The Blackwater Bridge, actually, is it the Blackwater Bridge? Will be named after him in his honor.
What we want to do with the bids that way.
If we have enough bridges.
We have one in our community. True. And true.
I think you just have to coordinate that with transportation cabinet.
Transportation Cabinet, do resolution to have it named that, unless it's already named, and there's where the issue comes. So, I'd like to entertain a motion. So moved. You got a second?
First and second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes. On down the list, resolution for 0172.
No, just give you the heads up. We had sent this resolution to Tim, and he had asked for it to be retyped with the state blacktopping prior to the adoption. And that's been done. Yeah, that's been done, so you just need to, I mean, as long as y'all approve this, you need to approve that resolution.
So when are they supposed to blacktop it? Or they're saying they're going to?
Well, it says there, their statement is prior to, this is a new contract that's sent.
At least 1 inch in thickness.
On all of them.
And it won't become effective until after the Department of Highway resurfaces stated sections.
Alright. We need to, need a motion on the floor?
Is it old 172?
It's not old 172, but where they redone new 172, and set up Fort Crockett and all that,
Yeah.
all the little connector roads that still connects to the county roads, they're turning them over to the county. Like they always do when they do a new road. You got a bunch off 519, didn't you?
And it's the contract saying they will surface 1 inch of asphalt on each one. Okay. Need a motion? Accept the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Got a moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Next, approval of invoices, purchase orders, and payment for the Buckhaven Bridge project.
This would be the final draw for the Buckhaven Bridge project. Frederick and May Construction in the amount of $160,633.78.
Did you get that from First Shield?
And Alchemy Engineering, $32,965. It's also their final. Teresa's Shields sent those, and we are going to have the shortfall on the EDA. We're going to have a shortfall of $4,673, and on the local fund, the 20% is going to be $1,167.44. If they want to look at that, you can pass that on.
$5,700.
Didn't even add them. I should have, Frankie. I didn't add
This is
them.
roughly.
I don't do it in my head very well anymore.
You mean they won't be short on the payment of that?
What happened?
About $7,000, was it?
About
Teresa gave me her cell phone number and said that if any of you all had a question about it, it's in one of those packets that I just passed around. She said she'd be happy to talk to y'all about it. I really don't know a lot about it. It's a project that we kind of picked up after.
I've been talking to her about it. I told her before I do the final payment, I was going to get with her and make sure that I agreed with it, because some of the numbers didn't look. We ended up having money sitting in our account, and the math just didn't work, so I'll go back and look at that, because we were going to do that before I issue that check. So if you want to make your motion that way, that I'll look into it, make sure I agree with the numbers and stuff. And then, you know, we could bring it back next time or whatever, but if y'all agree with me looking at it and making sure I agree with it and going on and paying it,
what was appropriated for and the shortfall.
yeah, I don't know.
I know the Alchemy and Frederick and May are both questioning their payments.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
this
I'll
original
actually-
invoice from Frederick and May was dated, what's the date when they submitted the invoice? You see their invoice, it's the A1A.
Yes. Yeah, 6/30, 14.
Yeah, those take a long time to pay, because they're gonna go through all kinds of. red tape. I mean, I'll go ahead and pay it.
I do know
Whatever y'all
that,
wanna do.
there was 3 change orders submitted in the amount of $17,844.40. That's probably part of your shortfall. I'm sure that it is. After the bid. Mhm.
I say you kind of check into it.
I'll just give this file to Jody. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I've already, we went through the first 2 calls already, and I had questions.
They've got part of it, Jody's still out, but
Okay.
We really wasn't supposed to be out some money on that bridge. What that's how they explained it.
I'm lost on it then, so accept the figures that Teresa gave. See, it was all administered through Gateway Ad, and it went from one girl who's on maternity leave now to Teresa. And
That's
she's
why
trying
They
to,
get-
she's trying to
they get
close it up.
administrative fee for that too.
Mhm.
You know,
Well,
pretty
and
much
that's
money.
why I think we need to take a look at it,
Right.
because, you know, sometimes you can
I understand.
miscalculate, or not saying they did, or anything
Right.
like that, and that's, you know, I was kind of the same understanding, you know, whenever you get these bids and,
Two months
they
ago.
keep coming back.
Probably.
They get what?
Gateway Area Development, about $30,000 or $40,000 to administer the.
Administrative fee to do the grant.
Now Teresa Shields, the other girl was new, but now Teresa Shields been there for years, and she does know what she's done. So I'll work with her on.
So table that.
Yeah. I did, unless you all want to go ahead and pay for it. I say we hold off.
Teresa? We haven't went over this draw. I went over the first 2 draws with her, and I had a discrepancy of us having too much money in our account. We had drawn too much. So we would have had money sitting there that should have been restricted. So that was my question to her. You know, why aren't these matching what the draws are, the payments coming in? So we looked at that, and she was supposed to, I didn't know she was doing this draw tonight. So we'll look at, I'll go over this with her. I mean, it's whatever you all want to do. Yeah, I mean, I can talk to her and get back to y'all. Because I thought we were going to go over it before it came to the court.
So if you go over it.
No, she just emailed it to my email and asked me the percentage.
Right, yeah, I mean, I just, what'd you say?
So if you talk to her and you feel like it's okay, then we can
Then-
fix it where you can go ahead and pay it that way.
I mean, that can be your motion if you wanted to, and I can email you all.
Approve it, contingent on your agreement with it.
With the number,
Okay.
if you want to, that's up to you.
We don't have to take action on it tonight.
Well, no, not if you're not clear on mine. It just delays their payment, I'm sure they need it, because they've been out the money.
We can pay up to what the agreed contract was,
Well, that's a good idea.
and then the other fee, we look back at it later on.
That's true, prove it up to the original contract price.
And I'm not saying we're not gonna pay it.
Right, but we'll
But
just
we
look into it, and we can do it next time, at least they get the majority of the money.
They both have fees, what are you talking about? How much everybody gets their money up besides 4,673 and 1,100.
Yeah, that gives everybody all their money besides $5,700.
Everybody gets paid. It's not the 4,673 and.
Well, wait, let's see, what do we withhold the money out of, though, see, because when we do that on a percentage of what's owed, or, you can do it on a percentage of what's owed, I can do that, if you wanted to, or whatever you want.
Yeah, do it on the percentage.
Yeah, it's kind of what we were doing. Pay what the contract was when we signed that.
Not saying we
I mean,
won't,
that way
just we
we'll
wanna make
hold
sure
the
we're
money,
going,
yeah,
you know. And there may be a mistake in the number somewhere,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, there could be, it could be correct.
There was change of hands.
Just table it.
No, there's no action. Well, we need the action on that, the contract
To pay the contract amount. original
Contract amount.
Yeah.
with,
The percentage withheld
Percentage
based
withheld.
on what's owed to each of them.
get a motion on that? Any second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I have to abstain.
Got one abstain. Motion passes. Next item, number 5, extension of County Road, Junior Stevens Branch Road.
That would be up my way. They're building more houses and stuff up through there and putting some in. They're wanting to extend it out. Did they turn the paperwork into you and all that?
I've got deeds, the only thing I don't have is a legal description. I've got
I'll say
everything
they-
else to turn over to
They
Jolene.
probably have to give you that, and she probably has to get her thing done before we can actually do anything on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many houses are they going to put in?
2 right now with the 3rd one going.
Oh, 2's being built right now?
There's one already, you know what I'm saying, one already there. Then there's another one, he's getting a double wide and going up there, and then there's another one on up there getting built, or fixing to get built.
Does that meet criteria?
Well, like I said, I mean, just, we need to let Jolene get all her stuff done, you know what I'm saying, and all that, more or less just table this, just bring it to everybody's attention. You know what I'm saying, till they get their description and all that stuff in, till we have all the paperwork and all that.
You don't want to take, you want to just wait, hold off on it, just acknowledgement to the court until we get everything ready? Okay. Next item, property use agreement, Board of Education.
Okay, we had a contract with the Board of Education to use the property where the old central office was. When we checked on contract, it had expired. It was supposed to have been renewed by June the 30th, I believe it was, and it failed to do so. So anyway, I have retyped the agreement. It's supposed to be looked at every 6 months. I've retyped the agreement, and Darren Sparkman has picked it up, and it's on the agenda for the board for this coming Tuesday night. Deidre's already said it, that it's not a problem. But I wondered if you all could look at it, and if you'll acknowledge it, then Deidre, or then the board will probably do it on Tuesday night. They have a copy of this thing.
Is there any way you can just, we can have an addendum into the contract instead of every 6 months, every year? Because that just kind of tends to...
I don't know why that was ever done that way. That's the only one I had to go by. So that's how I retyped it. Hang on a minute, Frankie. There's so much of it I'd have to... if you see the expiration date on it, it's going to be June, wasn't it? You remember, Vanessa? Yeah, this contract here would be to the end, till the end of our fiscal year in 2015. And then could be done on an annual basis, I would think. That makes sense, do it to the end of the fiscal year.
Get a motion to accept the agreement? Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Air evac, temporary park for the helicopter during inclement weather. Hey, hi, how's it going?
Thank you for having us again. I've spoken with most of you all, I think, last week about this. What we're looking at doing until our hangar gets completed, which we've leased land from you guys up by the hospital, and that should be completed in February or March. During the winter months with inclement weather, obviously that would affect our ability to fly unless we had some kind of temporary storage location. So we kind of started looking around the county at places we might be able to use to put the helicopter in a bad an ice storm or something like that, where it would, potentially damage the aircraft. And we came to the county garage, so the gentleman there were nice enough to show us around, and I guess there's a little ancillary building on the side there that's not really getting used much. It doesn't have a door, it's just kind of an open space. but it's large enough for us to get the aircraft in and store it when we needed to, and this would be, maybe a day or two a month in a frost or something like that. Other than that, we keep it on the pad, and it would just help us get the aircraft warm and all that stuff, so we'd be able to respond. We would still respond from there. It would help with our times and all that. If we don't have a building like that, we get what's called a cold soaking of the aircraft, and if that happens, if it's cold for a long period of time, it delays our startup time, so it would delay our response to a scene. If we had a building to put in, that would not be a factor. So what we were looking at doing was just using that space temporarily for a couple of months when we needed it, and I spoke with you all. You just wanted to, discuss it and maybe vote on it. If there's any questions you have for me about it or anything, I'd be happy to answer.
I guess just the anybody got any questions? I guess just the motion. Do we need an emotion or?
I'll make a motion.
A motion, just store it and implement with. Need a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Number 8, placement of the Colonel Barber statue.
I passed out a couple of sheets of information there about Captain Barber, Colonel Barber. And, some of you aren't really old enough, I forget how old I am sometimes, really old enough to remember Bill Barber. But Bill Barber was born at D.R. He went to school here in West Liberty. He enlisted in the service in West Liberty. He was a hero of the Battle of Iwo Jima before the also, and then the big thing I want to talk to you about is in Korea, Captain Barber had a company of soldiers, and the story is underneath that picture there, at the Tonka Pass, and that's at the Chosin Reservoir. They were overrun by 200,000 Chinese at one time. They had to hold their pass up there with over 1,000 Chinese, and he had 220 men. They fought for 5 days and nights with temperature 37 below zero. We think it's cold out here now, but 37 below zero. And if you'll excuse me, he says when they urinated, it would freeze before it hit the ground. It was that cold. And those men were trying to defend that pass. Well, after they did defend the pass, there was only 82 of them able to walk out of that battle that was left. And there was over 1,000 Chinese piled up around the pass where they were. And the main part of this story is there were 8,000 Marines trapped in the Chosin Reservoir, kind of like Cave Run Lake. It's a man-made reservoir. They were trapped in that bowl in there, and they couldn't get out except through that pass that Colonel Barber was holding open for them. So he saved the lives, really, of 8,000 Marines. And he was wounded himself. And Colonel Barber is dead now. He died in 2002. But he was a Medal of Honor recipient from Morgan County, the only one we've ever had. There was only 5, and he's the Medal of Honor winner for the Korean War. He has done nothing but help people wherever he's been. He moved to California. They've got a city park named after him and all these things that he's done over the years. But he was quite a gentleman and somebody that I think the Morgan County should be proud of. So the idea has floated around for a while that we have a statue to Colonel Barber. The picture there on the front is a statue that Steve Tyrone had done, and it's in California. Steve Tyrone did the Ladies Memorial out here at Treadway Park, and he has agreed to do this statue here. The statue itself will cost $20,000. Now that sounds like a lot of money. It's a bronze statue like the one you're looking at there. This isn't Colonel Barber, this is another one. So anyway, we've checked, and I think Frank, I asked him about that price of that, and when you figure it being a bronze statue and prices have gone up since that was done. But the man was overwhelmed to do it. He's a former Marine, the sculptor is, Steve Tyrone is, and I wish you all could meet him. I would love to meet him, bring him here sometime, let you all talk to him. But anyway, he's agreed to do it. The VFW has committed $10,000 toward this statue. I'm working with Shorty Terry and Jimmy Darrell Easterling.
You mean the DAV?
Pardon?
The DAV?
VFW, what did I say?
VFW.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So, anyway, they're committed to the project. And the $10,000, the city of West Liberty is committed to $2,500. And I was going to ask, and want to ask, the fiscal court for a commitment of $7,500 towards this project. It's a year away. It'll be a year until he gets it done. So we're talking about $7,500, not right now. And I know you've got a lot of financial problems listening to you here tonight. But if there's some way that you could work this out, he requires 40% down. That could be taken out of the money that we had, the $1,250. And so there's no problem about that. But if the court could maybe figure out a way within the year, over a period of a year's time, to come up with $7,500, and we got it done. Now I've got another group. I don't know whether any of you know him or not. It's Jerry Cecil from Clark County. He's a retired major, and he works with the military in Washington. And in fact, I got an email back from him today that he was going to try. I emailed him about the base. If you look at the base of that, Steve Tyrone did that base too. That if he would, try to find us some money to do the base, so he was going to try to find $5,000 for the base of the statue. So we got it all put together, except for the $7,500. Now, if you could do it, I know it's for a great cause, and the veterans of the Morgan County would certainly appreciate it, and I know Colonel Bartlett would too. So that's what I'm here for, and I'll be glad to answer any questions if you got them.
I talked to Shorty last night about it.
Yeah.
Kind of thought I might be able to make payments on it over the next year, I mean.
That would
Maybe
be,
just make it to VFW,
that'd be great.
or so much a month or something,
Okay.
That's all, I ain't talking to nobody else, that's just what we talked about.
Maybe $37.50 this year, and then $37.50 next year. And actually, I talked with the Moorhead American Legion. That Doughboy statue down there that they just unveiled Tuesday costed $20 grand, $9,000 for just the refurbishing of theirs, just like our Doughboy here on the courthouse. Just to refurbish it was $9,000. I mean, that's why I was kind of shocked when I heard the price. I should have stayed more in art myself, sculpture. But anyway,
you said you took the $5, didn't you?
I was saying $5, but I tell you, it's definitely was a good project down there. It brings people in, tourism for the county and the people, and plus we need to be proud of our own.
What our plans are for this, it would be in the front, and along with this, we need permission to put it on the courthouse, the old courthouse lawn. The plans for this, if you go to, I know you all have, to a national park or somewhere, and you walk up and look at something, there'll be a plaque that will tell what this statue is about, or who he is, or something about him. And maybe where you push a button and it'll tell a story about who he is and what he did. Because I was really surprised. I talked to the president of the Kiwanis Club about the project, and he'd never, bless his heart, he'd never heard of it. He'd never heard of it. Colonel Barber, maybe a lot of you people hadn't heard either, or some of you maybe don't know anything about him, but we want to keep his name before the people of Morgan County, because he certainly deserves it. We need to be proud to have him in our county.
So you need the money when?
Pardon?
You need the money when? I mean, you said...
Well, really, it's a year project. He won't have it done until next Veterans Day, the Veterans Day next year, next November. So we're a year away. The rest of this year and all the next year, basically.
Can we actively be pursuing, like the VA, Department of Veterans Affairs have grant projects just like this going up everywhere? That's where they got their funding in Moorhead, American Legion.
That's where Cecil is checking with those organizations too.
And maybe if he can come up, if we put down the third, half of it now, ourselves at the county, and then actively pursue that, come up with that. If they can't, we still lock ourselves into doing it for next year.
Well, we could locked ourselves in like Lindsay said, so
Yeah.
much, so much a month,
So much of money starting in January or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
What you
They-
say,
they don't have to have the money
Just starting in January, we talk about this so much a month, you know.
I think that's a great idea.
Put it into an account.
Yeah.
And at the end of the time, whatever we lack, we can go ahead.
Now, let me ask you this question here to keep everything straight. You'll need assurance that the city's gonna put their money in
Yes.
and VFW's gonna put their money in, and plus yours would, take care of the cost of it.
I agree.
So I think I should bring a letter to you, or Shorty will, or Jimmy Darrow will bring a letter to you people that they are committed to their amount of money, and also you've done a contract with Steve Tyrone before with the Doughboy, and he did it also down there. So it's, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it, whatever you want me to do with it, so. So I understand that that's what you can do, and that's a go-ahead, because I can call Steve Tyrone tomorrow and tell him, actually, he's already got him a little model started, how to do that, the little wires, whatever they are, I don't understand what it is, but he's wanting to get started on it, so. I appreciate it very much, all of you, you've done a good job, that's for the county. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lynn.
And we appreciate what you do too.
Well, thank you.
So we need
I've got to run.
Motion to commit $7,500 to Colonel Weaving Barber statue project. That's not a payment, it's just committing it.
No, we need to
Because
pay.
where are we putting it? I mean, we're not.
We gotta create a line item and put it into the DA or the
No, I
VF.
understand that, but you actually want me to write a check each month, or what do you want to do?
Is that
Starting
right?
in January, is that what it says?
Starting in January, that's what we're talking about, right now, check.
Okay. 1/12 of it, is that what you want, or 1/11, because they need it by November?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was $7,500, starting January 1. To the, officer, was that
I'll make that motion.
Motion, need a second?
Hey,
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Yeah, thank you again. Run that by me. This year, there will be some, or there won't be some.
starting January 1, when we'll send you 1/11 each month of $7,500
Oh, okay.
to the VFW.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Moving right along, who will determine the placement of where it's gonna be? Lynn?
Pardon?
Who will determine the placement where you're gonna put the, that
Well,
big
let's
force?
say so as we would. I was just gonna leave it up to Shorty and Jimmy Darrow. We were thinking in the very front, on the commercial bank side, that area right in there somewhere, but where people could see it from Main Street.
I mean, I just,
But that's, just
That's
whatever suggestions anyone has that we'll do it. And actually, there'll be a process going now to what Colonel Barber will be wearing that he wore during the Battle of Tonkin Pass, which he had a poncho that covered a lot of him, but he was wounded in the leg and part of that was cut away. But that original poncho is at the Quantico Marines, that base right now. But whether he'll have battle gear on or the poncho over him, if you've seen the Korean Memorial in Washington, D.C., it look like one individual.
okay, thank you. M. Witt Road, Stanley?
Most of you know where Frank Williams from is. It's down 519 past Second Store. Out there you turn to the left, out past Midway, you know what Midway is? Second grocery store, convenience store on 519. Half a mile or something past that, maybe a mile.
1378's the name of that road.
Frank Williams Road turns off, and the M. Witt Road turns off of Frank Williams Road. And I looked on it is a county road. And it's supposed 0.937 miles long. And what's happened, they put a gate up on the road. So, I drove from Frank Blevins Road to where the gate is, and on my odometer it showed 0.7 miles. And Ruby lives out there, she drove it, hers showed 0.6 miles. So they steal from county road there that's beyond the gate. And I guess what we need to do is make a motion to have Jolene to send the people a letter and tell them that they'll have to take the gate down.
Can I speak? May I speak?
Yes.
What it is, my grandson here, me and my husband, well, he's been going to school for 4 years. He's an honor roll student. For the past 4 years, well, back in 2011, these people come in from Louisville. They have no known, actually, I've got the deeds, they have no, the address is 902 Emwick Road. There's no knowledge of anything of that actually being their, physical address. But my grandson has, for the past 4 years, had to walk by a pit bulldog, stand out in the cold, walk in the rain, times that, my husband died of cancer. While he's dying of cancer, I have to walk and, it's back and forth. So these people come in from Louisville and they said that they got permission from the judge to put this gate up. Well, we didn't think nothing about it. He tells us so. We go on. We had furnished locks, furnished chains of our own and stuff. No, we just didn't question it. I mean, somebody tells you, a judge tells you this. So as of 2 weeks ago, as of 4 days ago, they take all my chains, my new locks that I've had to replace, and I've got messages on my phone, very vulgar, that is their road. And I'm just saying I would like this to be done as soon as possible if it can be approved, because it is a county road. I used to live where they are now. We didn't have no children at all at school, but the bus still made that turn, because actually by law and by safety, I don't think a bus should have to back up if there's a way that it don't have to, for safety of all. And so they put a gate up, they put it right next, I had to actually move some of my husband's cemetery over it. And I would like to just say that, it's getting pretty cold out. And I just feel that there's actually not just him, there's a 5-year-old. He falls down, busts his whole face and everything coming down the hill. That little boy wouldn't have had to done that because the bus could stop right at his front door. But we can't because the gate is up, and I know for a fact that the county road does go all the way to the loop in front of their house. And it always has, and it's always been a county road, and I've been back there for 11 years. Been back there actually longer than most of the people that's from this, place. But I need it done as soon as possible. I mean, my car breaks down, there's times my legs go out, I can't even walk, and this child does not need to have to walk by a man eating and a dog eating pit bull, no matter what that is, especially when, there's safer and better ways for everybody. And they don't pay taxes, obviously, in this county, and they don't vote in this county, and I could go on, but that's beside the point. I just need the road open up where my grandson can go and get on a bus right in the front instead of, it's a quarter mile at least, and.
Thank you for bringing this. Stanley, do you have any?
She has deeds and stuff where the right-of-way was given, and the guy that bought the property actually bought some more property this year, and it's in that deed where the right-of-way and everything is to continue on. So probably what we need to do is if you leave those with the girls and let them make copies of them, that way Jolene can look at them.
Which I talked to the judge, and he said not only did he not give permission, said he or no other authority has the right to give permission for anything to be put across the county road. It didn't matter if there's a child there or what it is. And plus there's also a main electric transformer back there for that where they bought.
Well, we'll definitely, and 100% correct on that. No one can drive, lock the county road out. So.
Probably the deed, that right of way was years ago. That's subject from now on. As far as I know.
Who is this guy?
Also, what's happened is I have to pay twice a year to have my driveway fixed because where they've not been able to come back and grade like they always did, there's a grade that comes down, and I mean, it turns my whole driveway into a ditch. So I've got sometimes a week or two, I can't even get out of my driveway. But if they can get back to grade on the county road, it should have been took care of.
Do you have keys to the gate? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Not, they cut the locks and everything. They just had me go buy a new lock 2 weeks ago. Then they turn around and they take it all and cut it off and everything.
Who is?
You know, they're knee hauls from Louisville.
Sitting around Louisville.
And it is it's only 6.6 of a mile. And I figured out from that gate that they put on top of my husband's cemetery practically, it would probably average out to come out to be that mile, which would go in that loop. I mean, it always has, like I said, I've been back there longer than anybody, and they brought bus back there just to turn around, for the safety and everything, so they don't have to back up. And
I don't think there'll be any type of issue. Sounds like it is a county road. Definitely, would you want to go out and click it off and make sure? And
Already did.
It is.
Definitely get it to the county attorney and hopefully get it down just as soon as possible.
okay, so what happens? I mean,
County attorney will send a letter to remove the gate.
To remove it.
If you need the mailing address before we send their property tax bill, you can get it from Ayers. I think it goes to Moorhead, Kentucky, is where the people she's talking about. That's where we send it.
You can tell Jolene.
Yeah, tell Jolene to contact the PBA office to get the current information.
Jolene called me, not get a copy of the deed.
Oh, okay.
Or the deed, yeah.
That way Ruby can keep hers.
well, those two separate deeds, they both got two different addresses on them.
You know,
And she can just keep her.
Yeah, just have Jolene call me,
That'll be fine.
Okay, I thank y'all so much, and I hope I haven't inconvenienced anyone, and if the gate doesn't come down, I'll take it down myself. I mean, I got an honor roll student that in the past 3 weeks, he's scared, when they got that on their mind, like, there's a pit bull here, I'm gonna get ate up, I gotta walk by it, I gotta, he's more important to me than a gate or anything else. And it's really a shame knowing my husband passed away and these people has the heart to say, well, there's no gatekeeper, all of a sudden take the safety of me and my grandson away, you say. So I thank y'all very much.
All right, take care.
Hi, Ruby.
Yeah, I'll make it.
got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Stanley got another.
This should be good. What it is, they're gonna, most of you probably know, but they're gonna redo Route 7 over where 1161 goes up. Like they're gonna put that curve at. And what they're wanting to do, they want to use Hopkins Road, which is on down past that, turns to the left, and goes back out to 519. They want to use that for a bypass. And the guy from the State Highway Department of Jackson come down and brought me a paper, you all can look at it. And he wanted me to go ahead and sign it, but I told him that it wouldn't be final until I brought it before the court. And I wanted you all to make sure that you all know. Basically, all it's saying, the brakes were too in it, and he said they would fix the brakes. And then whatever, if they done any damage or whatever, they would resurface it before, they turned it back over to the county. It sounded like a good deal for the county. But I just wanted you all to look at it.
Brakes fixed at their expense.
I told him that I'd go ahead and sign it so he wouldn't have to make another trip, but it wouldn't be final, so I brought it to the court to let you all look at it.
Did they say they fix that brakes there now?
Yep, they said they fixed the brakes.
All right.
They do it before they change their mind.
Yep. I don't guess we need any, we need to
something just to acknowledge.
How are they gonna fix the break? I've got a reason for asking this
Well,
question.
he didn't say anything, he just said that they would fix, he said actually they was a couple of breaks on it, and they would fix it. He didn't say how.
This is not on the agenda, but there's a place in Griffey Range that needs to have steel struck. And the guy says that he's not gonna do it until he gets paid for the last job. And Craig Linden asked me the other day, he said, Don, are you having an issue? Mention you, but I don't know who the guy is, but he
It's
asked.
on the agenda right here to get paid,
Okay.
number 13.
He had never brought in an invoice.
We asked him about that. He had never even sent an invoice.
That's in an invoice.
Well, wait till let Craig Linden believe that he sent all that in.
Yeah.
I'll call Craig tomorrow morning.
Is that the Irish guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the road blocked in there, we were working on that for mine, they had it locked. Probably 3 weeks.
Well, we had heard this and
I reckon Reed broke down or something, he called me and said he
How did-
been there a week before last.
he said he hadn't been expecting payment. He never even brought us a bill.
And he tells Craig Linden.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure that that's in the, that's in part of that amendment when we did, isn't that money coming from the post service?
No, on this one right here on 13, no, that was, we got money from, you know, the state.
Okay, so that one's just.
Yeah, that's the 5 Frank Road.
Maintained by the state
Yeah.
during the Highway 7 project.
I know where the money
came from.
Huh?
I didn't know where the
Yeah.
money came
They're
from.
transferring
This was
it.
the emergency funds,
Emergency
wasn't it?
funded.
Yeah.
And we got a motion on the floor to acknowledge the hot mix road and the state to maintain while construction. We got a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Next, approval of general election claims.
Randy's just submitted the list of the election officers.
Precinct officers.
Precinct officers.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Morgan County Conservation District requests return of unused portion of the Governor's Office of Ag Policy DAR grant.
Okay, we have about 3, I think, active accounts, grants that have been given to us. It's just pass-throughs from the Conservation District. And they had applied for some money through the Governor's Office of Ag Policy for a dead animal removal grant. But somehow, they didn't realize that that money had to be spent within a certain period of time. And since they didn't spend it, the Governor's Office on Ag Policies asked for the unused portion of it back. And we currently have in that fund $2,215, $2,215.
Is there a deadline to use that?
Deadline's done up.
The Conservation District had a deadline to use
Okay.
it. Yeah,
It's up and they want their money back. I guess you're asking for approval to
Yes.
check to pay it
to
back.
send it back to the Kentucky State Treasurer, yes.
And I don't think you have much of a choice on that.
Yeah, I don't have much of a choice on that. Better make it. 20 other grants later on.
I'll make it. Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of invoice, purchase order, and payment to Chris Isaac Drilling, 5 branch project. What we just discussed. Do we need
When
any
did
more
When
discussion?
did he turn that invoice in here, just the other day?
What is today, Thursday? It was Tuesday.
When did you do it?
He done it, he done the drilling part and all that. A month and a half ago, maybe 2 months, I'm guessing that's before he left there and went to Gulf County, then come over there.
Yeah, he said he'd been working in the golf.
Well, he said he kind of dropped us. He really did. He said he dropped Morgan County because the guy that was running for judge in McGoffin County had really give him a, this is what he told us. The guy that was running for judge in McGoffin County had really given his business a boost when he first got organized. And he felt like he owed it to him to go up there and do some work, so.
Oh, shoot. Yep.
It's a fun life sometimes.
Well, I mean, if, just, who is this guy? Where?
Well, we had emergency funds, who went up there and looked at it, John.
Craig Lindy?
Yeah, from the
Larry
state.
May come too, but I know Craig did.
And they approved emergency funds for 2 or 3 different projects here in the county.
He got the other ones that are done. But
And actually, the Department of Transportation is the one who recommended this. He's the other one that sent Chris Isaacs in here.
I make a motion.
Got a motion.
Got it done.
Got a motion and second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Next one on the list is designate representatives for telephone and electrical.
Well, Linda Bradley was the representative for any changes that we had to have made through the office. Right now, I think maybe there's some lines that need to be run down in the community center portion of the building. But Vanessa or I, either one, are not authorized to, or any of you all, as far as I know. I mean, it doesn't matter to us who it is. Just so someone that is available could get charges done.
Both of y'all, because you're gone.
Since one of them is there, you all run the office every day.
Yeah.
What about
one of them are off?
even on past electrical and telephone? Is there any other things that you need to be acknowledged on?
Probably on all the insurance contracts. I didn't even think about that when we were listing this on the agenda, but there is changes that need to be made time to time, and with the insurance representatives, some of them are self-paced and some of them are, county provided, but we still have to be able to tell them what we need. Probably if you just had something, the minutes acknowledging that, it would help if we needed to communicate something.
Okay with everyone? Kind of a blanket acknowledgement. Get a motion?
Make it motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Next we go into closed session.
Got a 14A.
We go into closed session.
Why don't we go ahead and finish 1 and 2 and then go?
Hey, or did we do go into closed session on that?
It's personnel. Well, let's go on down to the open discussion real quick and come back to that. That's all.
Well, we have one more thing about the community center. Sally Nickel, Parker, called me yesterday, and to help with the economy, she's wanting, and some more people want to have like a Christmas bazaar here on December 5th and 6th. And they're asking that we waive the fee for the use of the gym on those 2 days.
Robin, is it available on the 5th and 6th? Did you already choose?
And she said that that
Yeah,
already.
she already has it on
I
the
think
book.
Sally
We checked
had
with
it
her.
all,
Yeah, just a
basement level and
Just a
gym
motion.
level.
For the bazaar?
Uh-huh,
No.
they're wanting